I did it. I'm live. Oh, it feels weird. Okay. Definitely feels weird. We'll see how we go. I sat here procrastinating until the point of no return. But that's fine. I do have some things to talk about today, as it's kind of like stuck in a bit of a stagnation. I can't really move forwards with like my channeling or any of the messages that are coming through until like I clear this up. So we'll see how we go in regards to communicating with the camera on. So really through the last 12 months, like I've gone through a lot of shit. I just want to start with saying that. And really being taken down. We're talking about things like spiritual warfare and, different thought patterns or like energies in motion, emotional waves and stuff, like just different concepts and different ways of viewing like what, the collective, but really it's like a personal reflection in regards to like what I went through. And I really just got to speak from my truth and talk from the precipice of what I believe. Otherwise it's not going to be authentic, and it's not going to be that the more authentic I am. I've worked this out obviously like within just a few months of even being on YouTube back in 2016. Just the more authentic that I am, the more it helps others, the more that it is a mirror or, reflective for others and stuff like that. So, and it's just like not being true to oneself. And like, I don't necessarily have this generic view of karma. Like, I view that the divine God, and I'm going to be using like different labels until like we clear it up. Obviously, if you all have been watching me for many years, you've heard me speak like certain names of God and this and that, which is one of the main points of like this live. Yeah, it's like I really believe like God is in control, and it's really deep in regards to how that's mirroring out in the physical reality. Like, we are gifted everything in the moment, and like you can view it just say as a mirror. However, that mirror is not necessarily just like it's like very in depth in regards to what that means, like viewing everything as a mirror. So I thought I'd start in regards to talking about praise and worship. Like, that's really what I've gone through in the last 12 months. Has been this how do I say this? It's been a manifestation and a dismantling of one's idols, in And you can even view it as in if this is like the being's belief, like it manifests as such, like that which you believe, like, you know, because there's so many different like religions and forms of spirituality across the globe. But yeah, it's been this manifestation and dismantling of one's idols and what one praised and worshipped. And so I'm really being guided to talk about, like, just ask the question to the collective, like, what are you worshipping? And like, what are you praising? Because if you've listened to my last few energetic updates, you know, you can see that I'm moving, well, I was moving into this perception of the twin flame awareness. And like, it was pretty much just everything happens for a reason, and it came out to push me deeper into my belief, because my beliefs really have changed. Like, if I'm just going to be straight up, like, I was preaching Judgment Day is coming like 18 months ago, and, you know, speaking in the name of Yahusha and Yahuwah, and, you know, really flowing and really experiencing a lot of wisdom coming through and abundance, and, you know, divine awareness was really like flowing through. So yeah, just want to put this question across to the collective so you all can really ask yourselves, like, what are you worshipping? What are you praising? What maybe are your idols? God giveth, God taketh away type of situation, you know, was experienced for me like in such a huge contrast. Like, I was gifted what I perceived I wanted in that moment, and, you know, then it was really dramatically taken away. And, you know, we can look at this in many dimensions. I'm being very careful in regards to how I speak this, because I really can't be bothered with the projections of judgments in regards to one's beliefs and like whatnot. So understanding the difference between praise and worship can bring a new depth of the way that you'll honor the divine, God, the Lord, your soul, your spouse, your children. So yeah, what just ask yourselves, like, what do you worship and what do you praise? So I'm just going to outline like the difference. Praise is the joyful recounting of all the divine has done for you all. It is closely intertwined with thanksgiving as you offer back to the divine appreciation for the mighty works on our behalf. So praise can be a feature of other relationships as well. Like, you can praise your family, your friends, your boss, you know, your neighbor. Praise does not require anything of y'all. It is merely the truthful acknowledgement of the righteous acts of another. Since God, or the divine, has done many wonderful deeds, you know, are you in that space of praising God or praising the divine or praising the universe like daily? Because I don't want to come on here and, you know, and I didn't want to, even when I started channeling like the twin flame stuff again, like, I didn't want to come on here and just start worshipping or praising like one of the 7 hermetic principles or like the twin flame journey. You know, guided to bring it up in regards to the 144,000. Like, that's just a theme that doesn't really disappear for me throughout like my time channeling or being a guide or whatever. It's just the collective that I channel when I'm looking at a group of souls that are incarnate on the earth. Yeah, I don't want to move into that spiritual ego either, in regards to like, oh, there's only 144,000 twin flames on Earth and the rest are not, and this and that. Like, all the praise goes to the divine, the ineffable. So, worship, however, comes from a different place within our spirits. Worship should be reserved for God alone. Worship is the art of losing self in the adoration of another. Praise can be a part of worship, but worship goes beyond praise. Praise is easy, worship is not. Worship gets to the heart of who we are. To truly worship the divine or worship God, we must let go of our self worship. We must be willing to humble ourselves before the divine, before God, and surrender every part of our lives to his control and adore him for who he is. So, I already feel the resistance in regards to like me speaking of God as a divine masculine. And that's, I feel like, why I went to the twin flame journey, because it was really bringing out that awareness of the masculine and the feminine. Like, you can still praise the divine father, you can still praise the divine mother, like whatever that is for you. The gift giving, that active essence is the masculine. So, everything that is the doing, the active, the gift giving, it is going to be the divine masculine. So if you're looking at it at energetics, it's still, fits. Worship is a lifestyle, not just an occasional activity. So praise is usually presented as a joyful, like uninhibited, boisterous type of energy. And when we're looking at worship, however, the tone changes. We read verses like, worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness, or come, let us worship and bow down. Often worship is coupled with the act of bowing or kneeling, which shows humility and this space of humbleness. And like, that's really why I'm bringing it up, because, I do fear the divine, and I do fear, the manifestation of going against one's guidance or one's sole purpose, just because I've seen the intensity of it all. And, it really was point to point in exact notion of, what scripture, I suppose you could say, or the law truly says in regards to what's going to happen if you do this or whatnot. So, yeah, I've just got to be truthful to myself in regards to being a guide. Yeah, because if you're running around and you're worshipping, like just say your job, it's going to become an idol, and you're most likely going to experience the duality, like the equal and opposite vibration of loving that job. Something's going to happen and you're going to hate that job. If you worship, just say like, even the concept, if you're just looking at what I was channeling, like the concept of twin flames, you're really going to hate it. Like, that's what the collective experiences. That's what every twin flame experiences. Like, they really move through these intensities of worshipping or idolizing, or, I mean, praise is really like intertwined with thanksgiving, whereas worship is intertwined with surrender. So, it's like, who are you surrendering to? What are you surrendering to? And yeah, at the same time, who are you praising? What are you praising? So for me individually, like, I have to come on here and be truthful and praise God and praise the truth that, we're not in control of our experience, because anyone that has ever experienced the art of surrender knows that that's what surrender is: surrendering all control, surrendering to the flow of where the guidance is, like where God literally is guiding you. Like there's a river, there's a divine river, there's a flow, there's you could view it as a destiny or a path or whatever for you. Worship is an attitude of the heart. A person can go through the outward motions and not be worshipping. A person can go through the outward motions and not be worshipping. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of spiritual boasting within the spiritual community, and like it states in Matthew 6:5-6, when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. And we all know a boastful heart. We all know the spiritual ego. I'm sure we've all experienced it or witnessed it, possibly on this channel, once upon a time. So, just really coming through. And it's not that I've dropped the religious notion, or like I stated on one of my last channels, like I'm not, I don't view myself as like religious or spiritual in any sense. It's truly just, I don't know, just is. It's isness for me, in regards to where the worship and praise lays, or where the fear lays. Like, God really chucked me in my ass. If I'm just gonna speak unapologetically, like, God was like, here, I'm gifting you this, this, and this. You can experience divine abundance. And there was lack of gratitude, there was lack of praise, there was lack of worship, there was continuous like gluttony, and even this drunkenness in spirit that I experienced. I mean, there was many things, I could blame many things. I could blame like vices and habits and overindulgence and greed and this and that. However, like, that's all a part of it. Like, I wasn't listening to the divine, I wasn't listening to God in regards to being humble. I really was trying my hardest at some points to be humble, I must admit. Like, there was certain things like necromancy, mediumship, that was a huge no. And I was told, not to move into those experiences. I just couldn't control the overwhelming abundance of dead souls, dead spirits coming through. And, there's everything happens for a reason. Like, if you're looking at it at the Gnostic views of, just say, Sophia's fall, it is identical to the story. So, it is what it is. And that's something that really came back up today, because, getting on here and like channeling or offering wisdom, and it's like, what's wisdom? And Sophia. So it's like, moving back into the feminine. Okay, that's reception. There's a blockage in reception. Why is there a blockage in reception? And all these things like really just fell into place in regards to a lot of denial and suppression, and even trauma that came up. Today's the first day that I've actually been like alone, like on my own, without the kids or without anyone else, since the 777 house. And it's just really brought things back around. Like, there's certain things that I hadn't looked at, I'd been ignoring, and like that's where I fucked up last time, was moving into ignorance. So I really didn't, hey Katie, I really didn't and don't want to go down that road again of ignoring the divine, because ignorance leads to giving in, and I'm very sensitive at this time. I'm very in awareness of certain things, like, and yeah, I can see that I've been falling into this pattern of like ignoring, because I really was just guided to hop on and be like myself, my soul, my normal reflection. But like I really jumped into this whole twin flame channeling thing, and it just like, it hurts my heart because it's resistance. I'm mirroring the physicality. I'm not mirroring like my higher self. I had a reading this morning as well, by a scryer or something of the sort, and like even that I was a little bit hesitant in regards to whatnot. But it's just a lady on TikTok, I forget her name, but she did a reading for me. I've been watching her for a while, and she did a free reading on there for me, and I might be able to show you all. I don't know if it's going to come up, but it's just a lady holding a mirror, and she's like, why are you holding the mirror? The mirror is not reflecting your higher self, it's reflecting your lower self. And she doesn't know me from bar soap, so it's just like very interesting in regards to what came through. And yeah, there was a lot of awareness that came through that, and then that started to shift me into reception. I've been doing a lot of clearings. I did like 5 different Steve Noble clearings last night just for awareness. I'm not necessarily saying go do them, but that really helped. And been listening to a lot of spiritual warfare, like protection affirmations and prayers to get to sleep, because I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety. I've been dealing with a lot of weird negative emotions that I just haven't experienced. And before I take that next step in regards to coming back on, and like I haven't even promoted, like shared this out to any of my other social medias where I have like 10,000 followers on Facebook, or 9 or 8 or something of the sort on Instagram. And I haven't even been sharing it out, just because I know that I'm not in my authenticity. I'm not in my like the right vibration of my truth yet. And that's why I'm just hiding here with 100 subscribers, getting the flow out, trying to get it out in regards to, like, I felt like I lost my voice, I lost my wisdom, I lost my awareness, lost my light, like lost my material shit, lost this, lost that, and slowly just being gifted it back. Like I went from, we could go through the 4 bodies of existence. Like physically, I was in the best house I've ever been in. Emotionally, I was feeling the best that I'd ever felt. Mentally, like I was channeling and the wisdom was coming through as clear as it ever was and as quick as it ever had been. Spiritually, I felt closest to God that I ever had, closest to the divine, to, the light as I ever had. And then just due to ignorance, due to not listening to the inner guidance and listening to the messages, I went from that to, let's go through it again. Physically, I went from a 5-bedroom house into a tent. Emotionally, feeling amazing to feeling depressed and anxious and actually on like prescription medication. And then mentally, channeling all this wisdom to like it completely being cut off and not even having any beliefs like at all. I just shut it down and just focused on just being stable. And like I was living in a fucking tent, like, you know, I lost everything. So it was like just getting back, you know, mentally. I think I shut my beliefs down because I didn't know what I believed at that point. Like it was a bit of a shock factor in regards to like my life changing so intensely. And then like spiritually, I felt completely disconnected and completely cut off. So yeah, it was like a huge shift. And, you know, I didn't go into like, I'm not blaming God. You know, I can see how my actions and inactions like added to it. However, God is in control of everything, and God really gives your experience for you, and it is perfect in the present moment for your spiritual like evolution, if you will, or just like your truth. It's in alignment to your truth or lack thereof, really. If you're in resistance, if you're in a perceived separation. But again, it's like you gotta experience the bad to even like appreciate the good. And I can see that I really was idolizing. It was going to happen anyway. Like even after like God gifted it to me, like I remember I was really in a space of gratitude for everything that I had received, because it was just like I was experiencing like a lot of abundance and litness. And you know, I was in gratitude for like 2 days, and then I stopped myself being grateful because I'm like, this is just about to get taken away like really quickly. And it was like 4 months and everything was taken away. So, you know, you can tap into your soul's journey. And if everybody just like shuts the F up and actually accepts their journey without judgment, as hard as it is, you can sense which way it's going to go. Or like, you can always like have prayers or make petitions, and you know that's why it's really good to be in praise and worship of, so you don't fall into like amnesia or something in regards to, because like I really fell into this space of like forgetfulness and amnesia to everything. And you know, it was kind of like I was in denial that there was a higher power, like that had told me not to do this or this will happen, and then it happened. And it's like, I think I was just in a space of shock or whatnot. But not only that, like, you know, I was going through like Western medicine and, you know, psychiatrists and this and that. And there's just no space for the birth of a shaman, they'd say in Eastern medicine, or like dark night of the soul, or like an ego death or something of the sort. There's just no, that just doesn't comprehend. They're like, here are these tablets and, you know, everything will stop. And it's just like, whatever. It's just a numbing, and it was a really, really, really painful numbing. And I feel traumatized from it, to be honest. And it's been like a rebuilding and a recovering from, you know, getting off all prescription medication. You know, it scared me to the point of not even using plant medicine or anything anymore. So it's just like full raw dogging it in regards to dealing with the emotions. And like that's why there's been so much anxiety, because, you know, I used to be pretty, well, I used to be like prescribed medicinal marijuana, and that really helped my anxiety, you know. However, there's just many reasons why I'm not guided. I'm just guided to go like cut everything off. Like I literally cut everything off in every dimension, and wanted to see, like I was looking for the root cause of like everything, and but then it just like ended up being God's presence. And then I was just like, oh, okay. So can't necessarily be angry because I remember all those things you said not to do or to do and, didn't experience. So that's why I wanted to get on here and just talk about the praise. I might just have to pause it for a moment and make a phone call. Yeah. I don't know where I'll go with the live next. And it's not like I'm just praising and worshipping out of fear either. Like, truly, I just have to say, like, God is great. And, the presence of the overwhelming synchronicities. Like, I honestly think that's why I was in shock so much, because of the overwhelmingness of the synchronicities and the mirrors and, the truth that God was right up in my face in these experiences. And, even in the good times, like gifting me certain things that were just like, God knew me better than I knew myself type of situation. And it was just like, it was definitely a brat spiritual ego coming through, though. I definitely got drunk in spirit and drunk in over excessiveness of like certain things, ways of the world, drunk in money, drunk in drugs, drunk in pridefully boasting. Like, certain things were just like very harsh vibrations that I was definitely condemned for them. Okay, so I mean, I could have had faith, really. That's where I feel like it wouldn't have been as intense. Like, that's the only thing that's really gotten me through recently, is having faith to build up, from the pit or from the tent. I remember the days when I was on live, like in the Blue House, where I was like, we're going to go to the field. Everyone's going to have to go to the field, and then I just end up in a tent. I was like, well, did speak it. 1 sec, I just got to make a phone call. Yeah. So I probably will get Zoom back. Just really got to work out, like, counting the dollars. Really got to work out finances in regards to, but I am guided to get Zoom back so that, Soul Tribe can come back and we can have somewhere to vibe with. Like, that'll really help me at this time as well, because, I've been experiencing like probably withdrawals from Soul Tribe, to be honest. It was all purposeful, though, because there was attachments and projections and a lot of judgments that were being flown around in soul tribes. So it was beneficial for everyone to have a break. However, I know it helped a lot of people, like seeing a collective coming together and communicating, and just even the knowing that there are others out there like you, can just soothe you. Like, to be honest, I've been watching. I wish that I had have come across like an Ascension Diaries or something in the last few months. I've been watching people on TikTok, and they're just like, no one really. There was just not a group like Ascension Diaries. Like, it's just so interesting what we experienced. Like, it was something really set apart, what we experienced with Ascension Diaries. And, it's a shame that all those videos have been taken down. However, we can always recreate them again. And, it's like the old self had to die, or the outer self, like it states in scripture, has to die so that the inner self can really flourish. And I can see that inner alchemy is really where the collective is being pushed at this time, to, God will literally cut off everything in your external reality if you're not communicating. Like, if you're on that journey and like you really are a seeker of the true God, of divine, of the truth, and cut off everything so that it's just you and God. It's kind of like that thing, be careful what you wish for type of experience, because that's why communication, and like it starts with praise and worship. Like, you're internally running on a mechanism. Like, when you get up in the morning, like your God might be coffee, your God might be the TV, your God might be money, making money, going out to work or something else, or your partner or your children even. And like, everything has to be gifted. It comes from the divine. Like, it has to be gifted back. It's to forgive everything back in reverence and praise, for the one that's gifting it. And like, it really doesn't come from people. Like, it doesn't come from the external reality. Like, it comes from the unseen, not the seen. And a lot of twin flames really, they do this mirror thing with their twin flame, and this is where I really didn't want to fall into. And it's just like their twin flame and them is the end all be all, and that's like just the biggest spiritual ego in itself, because pretty much just saying like you and your twin are God in your own little matrix. And where's the Trinity? Where's the divine that is guiding you? Because I can assure you, your twin flame ain't guiding you. So it's like, yeah. It's meant to make a phone call at 3:30, so yay. Just sorting out the gang of trick-or-treaters because it is Halloween in Australia. It probably is Halloween in America. Yes, so what am I going to do now? I'm just all alone. First time alone in like 9 months. Legit. Like I haven't had a night on my own in 9 months. And like, I used to get nights alone here and there, maybe once every 3 weeks or like a month or something of the sort, but like 9 months, like holy shit. That's a long fucking time. And like there's just been so many changes and like a lot of grief recently. It just went past. You and your twin flame are meant to be together in this lifetime. I remember when I first found out in 2016 that apparently twin flames are in their last lifetime together. It's just like chaser mode activated. It's our last lifetime. We have to be together. And then the next one says we don't get to control the timing of when we meet our partner. Interesting. Comfort is the worst addiction and a cheap ticket to depression. Yeah, scripture really says something in regards to comfort. Was it comfort or I don't even know anymore. This is what I mean. I used to be like the Bible on tap and wisdom coming through, knowing these verses. And I really received a lot of judgment from ways of the world, like not necessarily beings like watching me or anything, but it was more so like the medical practitioners and stuff like that. And it's just fucked. Like it's 2024. It's just really fucked up. I understand I was saying some pretty hectic shit, but like you don't understand the wisdom people. They didn't understand what I was trying to say. But still was saying some pretty hectic shit. Pretty hectic things. So it can be a sin of adultery, like idolizing things, when you turn to material things for comfort before you turn to God. I mean, everything is material in this perceivable universe. So, even your body is some sort of biochemistry of material. So, just chill out, everybody, and just please let me do my thing without judgment or projection. If you don't resonate with me, then just go away. Don't be like, I don't even want friends. Like, you're an ally, because an ally will love you unconditionally no matter what, because, they're there for God, not, for some type of ways of the world made up experience. Because it is true in regards to experiencing the ego and opposite vibration of something. Friend, enemy, abundance, poverty, like love, twin flame hate. Like there's all these different polarities that one experiences. If you tip a little bit too far, it's a pendulum. It's going to swing the other way to balance it out type of thing. So may have been a bit harsh. Yes, a pair of two or more gathering together, there definitely is the presence of the divine coming through. And that's really, what the whole story of the twin flames is about. People like to say, oh, masculine and feminine. It's the power of two souls, not two essences within, your mechanism. It's beneficial to have a witness. Like, it's beneficial to have an ally, if you will. And we really are being guided to move back into soul tribe, like gatherings, if you will. Yeah, faith and trust in the unknown, like really having faith and trust through the turmoils, through the storms of your life, through the waves. That's really going to help. When you're feeling worn out or you're tired, just be in the presence, cast all your anxieties. I mean, for the spiritual community, like I can really just lay it for you. It's like cast all your anxieties into the central sun, if you will. Really just a lot of your like put it back down into Mother Earth, and it's like stop polluting Mother Earth. Just send it to the fire. I understand that the feminine is reception. However, does another soul want to receive your shit, your sins? Like, we are to confess to each other, but that energy in motion, like it really is an intent of focused awareness of being that inner alchemist and like pushing the energy in motion and like noticing where you are to guide it. It's a lot better than suppressing with medication and, just these band-aids within Western culture of, if you tweak a little bit here with this chemical, you'll tweak a little bit here with that chemical. It's like beyond the biology, there is spirit. Like, I'm sorry to say. And you can allow that spirit, to flow. You can even guide it with your focused awareness, because in truth, you're getting the spirit to guide you where to move the spirit. And it's like that co-creation, or, the spirit teaching you, how to clear energies, how to cut cords, how to cast. And it really is to go all to the divine. Like, you'll move it around this way, you'll move it around that way, like even gifting people their energy back, like when they say, oh, return to sender type of thing. It's like, why wouldn't you just bless them and like send it up, bless your enemies and like send it up to the eternal fire, like the central sun, or to the divine father son type of situation. Like, why would you keep it accumulating like through souls on earth? You can be that empty, selfless vessel and just cast it up like to God. Like, I understand if there's these perceived attacks continuously, just say from a specific incarnate, I'd more so, I wouldn't send it back, I'd just put shields up, so like it just bounces off. Like, protect yourself with the Holy Spirit, or like golden shields, or like discs of protection or something of the sort, because in one dimension it is mind over matter, and you are here to be creative and to experience the totality of the fullness of the pleroma. And there's definite tools, like your mind is gifted to you for a reason. Your mind is a lot more powerful than you'll know. And the mind shouldn't really be locked in with the emotional body of existence. The mental and the emotional body of existence, like within all humanity, is like woven together. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be like four bodies of existence as planes of existence, not, because you can see like when, your mental shit, just say stress and worry, like gets through your emotions and into your physical, like it'll manifest in alignment. So it's like keeping everything flowing in the mechanisms that it's meant to. Your mind is a powerful tool to really your mind is a powerful tool to shift it all, shift the energies of motion. Like it comes from the spiritual, then it goes like to the mental, then to the emotional, then to the physical. And it'll just be this outward expression of like that which you have been guided from the spiritual to focus your awareness on in the mental, that then moves your energies in motion and will manifest your physical. So yeah, I don't know what else is meant to be coming through. I'm just going to stay on for an hour, so I'll stay on for another 8 minutes. What is the meaning of praise? To express a favorable judgment of commend, to glorify, especially by the attribution of perfections. And then when you look at worship, worship is when we give our deepest affection and highest praise to something. I mean, it just seems so belittling to, give your highest praise. Like, really, if you tap in and you think about it and you look at it, like, where are you, like, what did you worship today? What did you give your highest praise to? Did you maybe give someone advice of like a healing modality and you really worshipped it, and that was the highest worship throughout the whole day, and you never even move into a vibration of like worshipping the unseen, the ineffable higher power? Like, it's gonna manifest that if you're not acknowledging God or the divine, like, you're not going to be acknowledged by God or the divine. And there is this thing in the collective right now where many are feeling completely cut off and lost in their energies and motion, and it's just this cyclical, pattern of their mental body of existence and their emotional body of existence just feeding off each other, and nothing happened physically and nothing being felt or experienced spiritually. So that's really where you get it moving, is if you move your energies, emotion, your focused awareness into praise or worship, into the heights, and something like greater, something like ineffable, something that is unexplainable even. And that's where faith comes in. You don't always need to work it out. You don't always need to know everything to experience. Like, that's what magic is. Like, I'm just thinking of the Coldplay song. Listen to the Coldplay song. Like, that's such a twin flame song. It's Coldplay's song called Magic. And like, when you're praising, like, just say you're praising others, like giving your friend or your ally or your children, or like even praising like your parents for, helping you throughout your lifetime or something of the sort. Like, you feel good. It gives you like a boost of feel good notion. And, then you can really move deeper into worship and thank the divine, for manifesting that experience of like your family or your child or what have you. Like, no one gets left out type of situation. Yeah, really praising and worshipping is coming through. Praising, others within, just say, the perceived twin flame journey or the collective, spiritual community, like Soul Tribe, really praising each other. Like that's something that I remember we experienced a lot of within group. Like there was a time when we were so kind to each other and we were praising each other continuously, giving each other lots of praise in regards to the good deeds or a job well done throughout the spiritual journey or something of the sort. So it's pretty cool to see kindness and extended compassion and gratitude, or even just awareness within the collective. Befriend your confusion. Don't be fooled by its chaotic appearance. Confusion is a sign that your soul is in transition. Welcome it as an ally that has come from afar to bring you home. That's very interesting. Confusion is the uncertainty about what is happening, intended or required. The state of being bewildered or unclear in one's mind about something. You can even it can even be within your heart. You may be confused in regards to the emotions that you're experiencing. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with the lighting and all this stuff in here. I'm in my new place and there just isn't a lot of things. I just haven't unpacked because I've been too slothful, if I'm just going to be honest, and depressed. And, I sat here for a good 10 minutes to get on this live today, just thinking, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? Am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? It's a disorientation, really. And the only way to get oriented is to move and follow the steps of guidance in regards to your soul mission or your soul purpose. Because you have a mission every second of the day. It's you have purpose. The soul has a purpose within every moment. Mission is quite a harsh word. Purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, for which something exists. So, you all were created with a reason, with a unique expression, with a unique purpose. The reason for which anything is done, created, or exists. Your soul has a purpose. I've really been speaking about this in Soul Tribe, and there's a certain being that's says the soul is the purpose. However, the soul is much more multidimensional than that, I just have to say. There's definitely different purposes, reasons for creation of each soul. And that's where true amnesia lies, is, within the fact that when you're born into separation consciousness, you're born into this amnesia, you're gifted free will. However, there's that innate code within you to make it home, find your way home. And home really being that infinite precipice of the present moment, in union with the divine, in union with God, and everything is really unveiled within that moment. And you can see, or you can hear, or you can feel loud and clear in regards to what you're meant to be doing. So yeah, I was guided to hop on and express this today. it feels a lot better than not expressing. Like, I might share it out as well. We'll see how we go. And I'll get Zoom up and running for any of the Soul Tribe members that want to like get in group and stuff like that. And we can, start sharing, like recording or even heading live on here or on Facebook. And, just even if we're just hanging out or something of the sort. There's huge guidance to connecting to like minds. And I know, beings really want to experience it in the physicality. There's reasons why like it isn't experienced in the physicality, due to like, I really feel that it's because we're still learning, and it's one really beneficial way to learn like how to move the energies in motion, maybe without, there's a biofield. Like if you're hanging out in the physical, you're really picking up on each other's things. The ego's a lot stronger, and like in these aspects, you can really move into a space of, it's just, and also connecting to beings all around the world and all different walks of life, because we really are all scattered as soul tribes. And I just never saw anything like, Ascension Diaries, like throughout my times scrolling through all different social medias, maybe looking for some awareness, advice, a collective, anything of the sort. There just was nothing like Ascension Diaries. Like there was a huge vortex of attracting some very high vibrational, like spiritual beings. And, I have seen it a little bit on YouTube. I've seen certain different like Zoom sessions and stuff that were experienced that were quite similar to Ascension Diaries. However, there was a lot of funny souls and a lot of funny, experiences that we experienced. So yeah, reach out, on social media or something. I know you guys have been asking me to get it for like a year now, so I know the ones that'll be there with bells on. And any topics that you'll want me to speak about, you can write underneath this video. However, eventually I'll start going live on Facebook, just because there's more of a following there, maybe even Instagram. It's just from Zoom you can go live either on YouTube or Facebook, not Instagram. So that's really where the group could flow to. So namaste, amen. Thanks for listening.